Imagine packing for the trip of a lifetime, only for your family to ask you to cancel it all, just to pay for your sister's wedding. The timeline here is incredibly tight. The bride tied the knot barely 2 weeks ago, and her flights to Japan and Bali depart in exactly 10 days. Getting to this point required serious trade-offs. The couple intentionally stripped down their own wedding to the bare minimum, diverting every available dollar to fund this massive travel experience. This itinerary is the direct result of intense, calculated planning. They applied rigid financial discipline for years to hit a single, focused goal. This chart maps 48 months of aggressive saving. They steadily stacked their income to build a dedicated fund for Japan and Bali. They hit their target. The flights and hotels are fully paid off, securing their plans without any debt. Then comes the disruption. The sister announces an unexpected pregnancy and demands a lavish dream wedding before the baby arrives. The newlyweds built this solid financial fortress through careful planning. Now their own family is actively trying to dismantle that fortress to patch a leak they had no part in creating. While the narrator spent 4 years building a towering savings account, the sisters' funds remain at zero. To fix this discrepancy, the parents propose a wealth transfer. They expect the narrator to cancel her trip, absorb the penalties, and hand the refund to the sister. When presented with this proposition, the narrator's immediate reaction is to laugh out loud. It sounds so wildly unfair that she assumes it has to be a joke. But the family intervention is entirely serious. The parents genuinely expect an immediate, significant financial bailout. In this household, disciplined savings are treated as public property. Her private funds are viewed as a communal emergency account to be tapped by irresponsible relatives. The mother attempts to justify the demand by arguing that since the narrator is already legally married, the honeymoon is an expendable luxury. The logic here collapses. A fully paid-off honeymoon is dismissed as frivolous, while an unfunded mega-wedding for the sister is treated as an absolute necessity. The sister escalates the pressure. She weaponizes her tears, crying and accusing the narrator of ruining her only chance to be a beautiful bride. This exposes the exact mechanics of emotional extortion and family dynamics. A perfectly reasonable refusal to hand over thousands of dollars is successfully framed as an act of malicious, targeted sabotage. At this point, the husband reaches his absolute limit. Faced with these relentless and delusional demands, he completely loses his temper. He ends the conversation unconditionally. He demands that the parents and the sister exit the house immediately. The digital fallout is instantaneous. The couple's phones light up with a coordinated barrage of text messages from the extended family, universally condemning them as deeply selfish. Whenever a family's designated provider finally sets a hard boundary and says no, the group predictably unites. They launch an aggressive backlash designed to force the dissenting member back into submission. Buried in the text messages is the family's ultimate justification for the harassment. They explicitly state that the narrator must sacrifice because she is the stable one. This scale mechanism illustrates the stable child tax. A heavy, reliable block on one side is forced to continuously absorb the impact of smaller, erratic decisions falling on the other side, just to prevent the entire family system from collapsing. Despite the intense pressure, the narrator refuses to yield. The honeymoon remains booked, and 4 years of calculated labor remain protected. We have to evaluate the math and the morals here. When family members demand your savings to cover their lack of planning, is protecting your hard-earned milestones an act of selfishness or the ultimate act of necessary self-preservation?